Welcome to Fett's Legacy, everyone. I'm here today to talk about the latest episode of Andor, but more importantly, talking about the future of the series, some potential characters we could see, and more specifically, Thrawn. So guys, before we get into that, I just want to say thank you all for the support. It's been absolutely crazy recently. We've been getting a lot more views on the videos, so thank you all for that. All the comments, I love engaging with you guys, so definitely keep leaving comments down below, and I will try my best to get back to all of you guys. I really do appreciate all the support. And speaking of support, guys, we have reached over 200 subscribers on the channel. I want to thank you all so much. This was a really big milestone for me, and I want to thank you all for helping me reach this goal. Obviously, this is a bit of a passion project for me, and I love making videos, and this is just what I love talking about. I love Star Wars, so seeing the support and all the subscribers coming in, I really do appreciate it, and it really does make me want to keep going. So thank you all for that. But let's jump straight into the video. With the latest episode of Andor, we saw a little bit more of the behind the scenes of the rebels. We saw a lot more of Mon Mothma. It wasn't so much focused on Andor specifically. We obviously did see a lot of him. It is his show. But we do see more people kind of standing up and wanting to be a part of the rebellion. And we're really seeing the early stages of the rebellion. A lot of this has to do with Mon Mothma specifically. I don't want to get too far into a breakdown of the episode, but talking about the early stages of the rebellion obviously has to go with the Empire, which honestly was probably my favorite part of the episode, seeing the Empire and everything that they're doing. I want to see more of that. So I'm really looking forward to where the series is going. And, the ISB has been absolutely incredible to see. Now, one thing that may have gone unnoticed by a lot of people was that we actually got Admiral Ularin in this episode. He was running the initial meeting instead of Partagaz, and I mean, that was really cool to see. They don't really mention his name or anything, but in the subtitles it actually does confirm that it was Ularin. So, as you guys may know, he was a huge part of the Clone Wars show. He was the narrator, and he was, a big admiral for the Republic Army in the war against the Separatists. So that was really cool cameo, and it has me thinking of some other cool characters that we could potentially see in the future of the series. So just going strictly off the ISB and the Empire, moving on forward from Ularin, who was really cool. I hope we do see more of him actually, because he is actually a really big character in Star Wars as a whole. I was going to say just the Clone Wars, but he is actually really important. I hope that going on from him, we could see, I've said it before, but hopefully Tarkin, as, he is one of the absolute top people in the Empire. He is a Grand Moff, which is pretty much as high as you can get. I mean, he even had authority over Vader. So he was pretty much just below Palpatine in terms of rank. And so it may be pushing it a little bit to see Grand Moff Tarkin, but we could even see maybe a bit of a younger Thrawn, and that is someone that we haven't seen in live action yet, but we do know that he's going to be introduced at some point in the Ahsoka series. That is going to be one of the main focal points of her series, and she did mention him in Mandalorian season 2, so eventually he's going to have to pop up. I feel like what better way to kind of introduce him to fans before the series than in this show how ruthless he is, because, many newer fans probably haven't read the Thrawn trilogy or maybe haven't watched Rebels, so they may not know really who Thrawn is, but he's a very important character in Star Wars, and honestly, probably one of the coolest and, best characters in the entirety of the Empire. So, I would love to see him. I do worry a little bit that he may be too smart, if that makes any sense for the show, because, Thrawn doesn't really fail. When he does, it's, very, very rare. And it's mostly because, honestly, a lot of people in the Empire are incompetent. Not speaking of Thrawn, of course, but everyone below him is mostly stupid, and they can't really do their jobs very well. And like I said, they're just grossly incompetent. So a lot of the times that Thrawn fails is because he will lay out the master plan, he will give everyone their objective, and tell everyone exactly what's going to happen, and the Empire will still fail to meet his expectations and his plan. So a lot of times that's why he will fail, really not down to him. because he rarely ever gets outsmarted. Honestly, he's one of the smartest people in Star Wars. So it mostly comes down to either his subordinates are just terrible at their jobs, or he's dealing with a Jedi who he can't really compete with on a power level kind of scale. So even though he is really smart and actually a very capable fighter who trains a lot, you just can't really compare with a Jedi using the Force. I think that could be a really big climax for where this whole story is going with the ISB, and show Thrawn come in and kind of take a bigger force against the rebels, as they're really starting to become their own entity now, and they're robbing the Empire. A lot of people are standing up from what we've seen from Andor's mom, and a lot more people are trying to stand up against the Empire. This is exactly what they want. They want the Empire to overreact and go in with a strong force, and maybe we could see some more rebels. Now I do know Carrie Fisher is dead. Rest in peace. It actually was her birthday today. But maybe we could see a bit of a younger Leia, not as young as the Kenobi series. She would have to be, I think, about 5 years older. I think this is 5 years before the Battle of Yavin. So she'd be a little bit older than the Kenobi series. But, a bit of a younger Leia would be a cool cameo. Maybe if she shows up along Bail Organa in a meeting with Mon Mothma or something, I think that would be really cool, because we do know Bail Organa is a big part of the rebellion. So in the early stages of the rebellion, we're seeing all these people get into it, and I do think that Bail Organa could be, a really big cameo, a really big character to see and kind of connect all of the stories. And I think that would be really awesome to see. Bail Organa is one of my favorite characters for the Rebels, and he's just a really great actor as well. Jimmy Smits is just so talented. So I would love to see him, a young Leia, and I think kind of going in this direction of the Rebels. We do know he's going to be in the show, but I just wanted to bring up quickly, Saw Gerrera will obviously be in the show, and I really do want to see him. I think we're getting to that soon. With the latest episode talking about how they're going to have to cut off the loose end, which is Andor, and, getting into more of the guerrilla tactics of the Rebels. And I think, eventually we will see Saw Gerrera soon. I just want to bring that up quickly because he's a really good character, and I'm looking to see more characters to connect this story to the overall Star Wars universe. That's the only thing it's kind of missing for me. I really do like Andor, and Luthen is really cool. Mon Mothma is really cool. Seeing Ularin was really great, but
I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
But yeah, I really do think that, this show could just use a little bit more from the overarching universe, bringing in some of those big rebellion characters. Like I said, Bail Organa is just one of those guys, and I do think, we just saw him recently in the Kenobi show. Why not have him? And obviously Saw Gerrera will appear. But another person would be really cool to see is, they have mentioned him actually. It would be nice to just see Palpatine. I know they had him as a hologram in Kenobi, which was cool to see, but I would actually love to see Palpatine in the flesh. And, they did mention Sly Moore. We didn't actually get to see her, which does kind of suck, but hopefully we could get to see even Sly Moore. And obviously, can't talk about Palpatine without mentioning Darth Vader. Now, I don't know how they'd work in Vader into the story, but there's always room for more Darth Vader, in my opinion. You can't have too much. And I really do think that it would be awesome to see Darth Vader, because in my opinion, that's one of the only things Disney has actually gotten, right with the original Star Wars characters. They've done Darth Vader really well. He's a menace, and he kills everything in his path, and that's exactly what we want from Darth Vader. So, yeah, I think we could definitely see that. Now, just going off on a small little tangent, it would be really awesome to have a bounty hunter scene where they're trying to track down Andor and the rebels who did this, and they bring in, the bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back, bring in Bosk, bring in Boba, Zuckuss, Forlom, Dengar, any of them. Bring in some more characters from the big Star Wars story. Well, guys, that is it for this video. I do really appreciate your support, and thank you all for watching. Definitely leave a comment down below who you think we could see in this series. Did I miss anyone? And thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time.